Hello there, and welcome back to Hydroponics Daily, your go-to podcast for everything soilless cultivation. I'm your host, Dr. Russell Sharp, the inventor of Gold Leaf, as it's known in the US, or Liquid Gold in the UK, the complete fertilizer that gets you from seed to harvest with just one bottle. Today, I said I would be talking about an interesting story to do with Israel, and it's a bit of positive news I thought would be good. And it's a really interesting one, this one. It's to do with hydroponics, but also with soil cultivation as well. And it's about how eating certain vegetables can actually help prevent dental cavities and tooth decay. Now, cavities is a disease caused by bacteria in the mouth, primarily Streptococcus mutans. So it forms plaque on teeth, and in the presence of sugar and warm temperatures, the bacteria multiply, producing acids, and that damages the tooth enamel, and then the decay sets in. Now, the interesting bit, a research team from Israel has found that a compound disrupts the plaque-forming process, and the molecule is diindolemethane, or DIM for short. Diindolemethane. Say that again. It's produced during the digestion of brassica vegetables or cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, cabbage, kale, cauliflower. These are all brassicas, and so they all contain certain levels of this DIM chemical. Now, in this study published in the journal Antibiotics, DIM was shown to stop the growth of this bacteria and break down the biofilm layer that caused the plaques. That's amazing, because that's a natural antibiotic that is not killing infectious diseases in your blood or on your skin or things like this. It's actually just preventing the natural bacteria that cause damage in your mouth. And the researchers observed that DIM limits bacterial reproduction and the production of the adhesive materials that allow the bacteria to stick to the tooth surfaces. Obviously, it's a safe chemical because it's in these brassica plants that we all eat, and it's previously been studied for anti-cancer properties. It shows low toxicity to healthy cells, and it potentially could be integrated into toothpaste or mouthwash. Or you could just encourage people who are suffering from problems with their teeth to eat more brassica vegetables and just have this as an added benefit. You know, you don't need to go to Turkey to get your teeth done if you eat your brassica vegetables. Now, Professor Ariel Kushmaro of the Ben Gurion University, very good university over there, said this molecule, which was found to be safe with low toxicity, may in the future be integrated into things like toothpaste and mouthwash and significantly improve our ability to maintain oral hygiene. Now, what else can we say about that? No clinical trials have been carried out on humans, and therefore there's no approval for DIM in oral hygiene products. However, there might be options for including brassica extracts and things like this. So that's really interesting. You know, we always think of brassicas as being a really powerful vegetable for its anti-cancer properties. Isothiocyanates are a chemical that's thought to be important in that. The sulfur-containing compounds. But then there's this DIM product, a DIM chemical as well. What else can we say about brassicas? Also used as a green manure in soils for breaking down soil pathogens because of the volatile chemicals in there. So it is a very powerful group of chemicals. Some brassicas contain more bioactives than others. There was a famous case of where Marks and Spencer's, the very high value supermarket in the UK, they got a team of researchers to breed Brussels sprouts. So they didn't have the chemical in that was really, really astringent, and some people, especially children, find really unpleasant and unpalatable. However, they bred this chemical out, and then the researchers found that this chemical was the anti-cancer, one of the anti-cancer chemicals. So was not great for that perspective. Other brassicas have hardly any of the bioactive chemicals in, and you can eat them, without any issues at all. So like cauliflower, it doesn't have a very strong taste, does it? Whereas cabbage is probably somewhere in the middle, and So, and then you've got your things like wasabi and horseradish, which are really, really powerful and will have loads of bioactive chemicals in them. As I said, the other name for brassicas is cruciferous vegetables. You'll often see this on Google Translate, because it's the old name for them, the crucifer family. The reason why is because the reason this name, where this name comes from, is it's the flowers have 4 petals, and because of the 4 petals, the way the 4 petals are arranged, people used to think that it resembled the cross that Jesus was crucified on. Hence the crucifer family. Top fact. And he was crucified in Israel as well. So all goes back round again, doesn't it? Where was he crucified? Let me have a think. Back to my Sunday school days. Calvary. I should have known that. Had to Google it. Anyway, there you go. Also, I was researching some stuff on Israel for positive things about hydroponics. Didn't realise that a lot of traffic is no longer going through the Suez Canal. And now there's a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel that a lot of the ships will be returning to the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. That had completely passed me by, that one. And you think, oh, well, that doesn't relate to hydroponics, but a lot of fruits and vegetables will still be transported by sea. A lot of apples, ginger, garlic, and things like this. So some of those wouldn't be possible to go around Africa to get to Europe from, say, like China, and vice versa. Turmeric can be transported by sea. However, it's on the edge of its shelf life by the time it gets to Europe from, say, like Papua New Guinea or wherever it's grown down in the Southern Pacific. So you may start to find prices decrease for certain vegetables now there's been a ceasefire. Watch that space. All right. Thank you. That's been Hydroponics Daily for today. If you found this at all interesting, please give us a podcast on Apple. Give us a review, on Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, that helps out tremendously. If you're listening on any other platform, don't leave a review because it is completely useless. Just make sure you're following us and check out utrema.co.uk to see what I do during the day. If you can't spell utrema, it's Latin for wasabi. So just Google wasabi. All right. Thank you very much for listening. And until tomorrow, goodbye.